this weekend, the Premier League will continue. Chelsea will host Everton in the first kickoff of today's encounter. Other games that will happen on Saturday. On this particular weekend, too, the FA Cup semi-final is happening in England, and Man City will play Nottingham Forest on Sunday, and Aston Villa will play Crystal Palace on Saturday. Let's see who makes it to the finals of the FA Cup. In Spain, the Clasico final will happen today. A whole lot of controversy started happening yesterday when the referee of that Clasico, everybody was wanting them to change it, but the Spanish football said that they are not changing anything. They have to play it like that. Everyone was thinking that maybe they will boycott that finals, but they have to play it that the Clasico final today. So it's going to be a huge encounter between Barcelona and Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey final or in Spain. Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin. I'm here with the 18 to talk about all this on today's show. Good morning, Nonso. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. In light of what's going to happen today, the semi-finals in the FA Cup and the Copa del Rey final, PSG lost their first match. And for some people, we are happy, but there's a question mark to it because for the past 4 games now, I am sure the attack line has not seemed to produce the goal for PSG. What's it going to be come Wednesday or come Tuesday?
Next time we'll go talk about that later. George, good morning.
Good morning to you, Godwin. Good morning, football maniacs and super fans out there. Why Real Madrid they fear? Why? It's not nice.
Well, a whole lot of controversies in that game. We'll get to that later on the show. But first, remember we are live on YouTube at Gold FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments, and we'll be reading your comments live here in the studio. And it also means wherever you are in the whole world, you can always join us and watch us live on at Vote FM Sports. Okay, there are a few results that happened yesterday, especially the one also just talked about. Paris Saint-Germain lost at home for the first time this season, and Nantes winning the 3-1. It was their first loss, even though they have actually won that league 2 weeks ago. So they won't bother, but they should bother because they are going to play Arsenal on Tuesday in that Champions League encounter. And in a few games now, they have not really been doing well. Even though I don't know if it's because that probably they have won the league. You know, sometimes when you win the league, you just remove your leg from the pedal. But on Tuesday, we'll see what happens. What will happen between them and Aston. That first step will happen at the Emirates in England. Okay, let's move on to the Premier League. The Premier League games that is happening today. Chelsea will play Everton first kickoff 12:30. 3 p.m. Fixtures. Brighton will host West Ham. Newcastle will play Ipswich. Wolves will play Leicester City, and Southampton will finish with Fulham in today's game. And on Sunday game will be very interesting because Bournemouth will play Manchester United, and Liverpool will host Tottenham in that second game in the Premier League. Okay, let's talk about it before we move on to the FA Cup. Remember, guys, I even forgot to mention, we'll go talk about it later in the show. You have Oriental Derby in Enugu. It's Enugu Rangers versus Enyimba. It's going to be a huge encounter, even though that there's no title on the line between these guys now, but it's always a big derby when that game happens. We're going to talk about that later on the show. Okay, let's start with the Saturday game. Yesterday we talked about Chelsea qualifying for that top 5, and this is the first step. They have to beat Everton, whether by Kruko, by Loco, by any way. If they miss that 3 points, Otilo for them.
Don't be lying. Otilo for them. I think that this is a game that Chelsea needs to win. This is the easiest of the remaining games.
It's easier.
So, it's easy, but it's also tough because, what's his name? Mosiah. David Moyes is not going to roll.
Thank God say you know. Thank God say you know. You called the name right. Mosiah, the savior of relegating teams. They get say Big Sam dey now. For some they just call Sam Allardyce the savior of relegating team, but Big Sam no dey again. Even Roy Hodgson no dey again. So now the current and only Messiah waiting for the relegation battle with this, and he's taking them far from relegation zone. And he did a wonderful job against Arsenal. At least that draw was enough, and he dragged Nottingham Forest out of the top 3 contention to join them in the conversation for top 5. Because if they say no beat Nottingham Forest, if we know they put Nottingham Forest on this top, you get Nottingham Forest was still there for top position already. Now beating Nottingham Forest in the 94th minute was a clear statement that anybody he's going after, he's going for the win.
Sure.
He's going for the kill. He doesn't want to settle for draws anymore. He's played the draws with the teams he can play the draws with. And I think he almost got the draw against Liverpool, if not for that goal from Jota. Now going into this Chelsea game, he has everything in place. As any manager can, he has everything in place. So I am trusting my man, David Moyes.
So if they don't want Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League,
No, Chelsea can qualify for the Champions League. But this one, they can go and beat Nottingham Forest and Liverpool and the rest of the other big teams.
if they don't win the easiest, I think the easiest here
The
is
easiest is not Everton.
Who is the easiest?
You can go and find another easiest. But this Everton side is not the easiest. Because even Moyes now, as he's looking at the end of this season, he still has hope. Like I finish in the top half of the season. In his head, he's playing in his head that if I can win my last 5 games, I could finish in the top half of the season. That's what's playing in Moyes'
10
head.
points gap. And it's not happening.
No, it's probably not happening. Probably 10 points is not that much.
10 points.
It's 5 games remaining.
Look who they them: Brighton, Fulham, and then Crystal Palace.
Brighton, Fulham, and Crystal Palace. Brighton game matches they go lose. You get Fulham get matches they go lose. So they go draw against Southampton. They go draw. Now Crystal Palace they play Aston Villa later, so they don't go play Premier League. So I don't go, but they go win if they go ahead to win the FA Cup. Crystal Palace.
You know, everybody can dream final, right? But I don't think he's going to get a top 10 finish this season. I think he will best be served by maybe getting an 11th or 12th. But it's at that stage where it is the whole thing about Everton right now is finishing the season off at least in a good way, at least giving the fans something to cheer for, even though there's nothing to cheer for. But in this encounter against, and like I said, this game is probably going to be about Everton getting a scalp over the big guys, and whichever big team they have to play remaining in their run up to the final game of the season. But for Chelsea, if you are going to finish in the top 5, you need to start winning this Everton game. It's going to be hard fought, but you need to start winning.
You need to start winning that game. They play Everton in the first game of today. You know, Barca was talking to the press before that game yesterday. He was saying that for Cole Palmer, for sure, it's a mental thing because he have not scored or assisted for quite some time now. And he said, I don't think it's tactical or I don't think it's technical because the style is the same, the manager is the same, and the club is the same. So it's Cole Palmer's fault. So he should go and find solution to his problem.
Is it a one-man team? Don't we have 48 other players in that team? Why can't any other person score for the team?
Then it's talking about the squad. He said years ago, Drogba was here and the manager changed. Drogba, who was on the bench, Fernando Torres, they had Fernando Torres. I don't know. I don't even remember. But now, we have only Jackson. Nico Jackson. We have only Nico Jackson. And if I want to make substitute, I'll bring in
Tariq George
from the bench.
Tariq George from the academy or some other players.
That's what we have been saying. They know that they have a striker problem since the season.
And
you've been covering it. Now you are complaining that they have Drogba there, they have Fernando Torres, they have Anelka there. Now we are talking about academy.
Why you they cry now? Why you they cry?
But like, it's essential to buy Felix.
Thank you. That's the thing. Because in this scenario now, what's his name?
Marukwa. They don't trigger you.
Marukwa
they don't trigger you.
Marankwa, whatever his name is, has himself to blame.
That's himself to blame.
Because at a certain
when they sign all the young players waiting for market to come.
At a certain point in time, he has to. You cannot do a job ill-equipped, and you need to be able to be open about it to whoever is your manager ahead of you. Like, look, this is what it is. Let's not forget that even though they couldn't make any of those marquee signings later on, we don't know whose fault it is. Whoever it is hiding behind the boardroom somewhere in Chelsea, right? But at a certain point in January transfer window, you had Andre Santos firing in Encon, if I'm right, that's the right pronunciation. Firing in Encon, scoring goals for fun. You could have pulled that loan deal off the table, brought him back, and at least have a backup in the attack setting. Yes, he's young, but at least if you are going to back youth and start buying youth like they've been buying and they are continue going to be buying, you could have brought him in. He's sitting on over 15 goals. Terry George, how many goals he get? How many games he not play?
Why they complain?
Thank you.
I get Tariq George. I get Tariq George, don't be complain. I just say I get Tariq George. If you look at it, you say, wait.
I get Tariq George.
I have.
But why you start by talking about Anelka, Drogba, Torres?
He said, I have Tariq George and any other academic graduates I can put in the team. Because they don't look the first team players. They know they give a result. I was advocate for my man, the Travis Scott of Chelsea that plays here, he say he good. The
They
guy
blow
from Leipzig.
balloon.
If he score one goal in 7 matches, he go blow balloon. I think say that one go even stand up to occasion.
Person talk say that he don't carry that balloon tire for him pocket. You know they score anything, so he never blow anything.
So, balloon now, people they say balloon no go chop. Because now until Nkunku score goal, before they go sell balloon, because I think they come out. So if the balloon we buy last week still dey there,
See,
after 3 months he
if
still dey there.
Nkunku manage score goal between now end of season, as he wan go blow that one,
He's back from the.
make person wife and slap playing
Yeah,
day.
he's back from to the squad. You know, he was dropped for technical issues last week. Now he's back to the squad. But let's see. You know, George saved them. Derek George saved them last week. He scored that equalizer for them to win Fulham. So let's see if him or Nkunku will be introduced against Everton today. He has to decide that. But he's complaining about a striker. That means probably Chelsea might get a striker. Remember, they have the boys in the
They
market.
should.
When everybody has
Guys in the
continued to
market,
say the same
Osimhen
thing.
is in the market, Sesko is in the market. So 3 big strikers available in this market. Let's see who Man U is looking for a striker, Arsenal is looking for a striker, Chelsea is looking for a striker. So let's see.
And striker no come plenty.
Let's see. There are 3 strikers they can share 1-1, but let's see who. And
Striker no plenty.
Yeah.
Grassy day, man.
and the Grassy Day.
Openda day. Don't look start, man.
Osimhen Day and Sesko Day. Even the lab guy.
No, they talk, because these people now, I just this last season and this season they talk. The way we see them. If you want to copy with the Ekite.
Leave that one. Let's get your prediction for this game. Chelsea versus Everton. Who wins?
Another draw. Early kickoff now draw. Early
Okay.
kickoff.
John.
I will just say draw. But
Okay.
Chelsea fans, if you can, try and win.
Okay, the other games that will happen 3 p.m. Brighton versus West Ham. Let's get your prediction for that game. Who wins in that game, Brighton or West Ham?
The way they ask question, and I straight to in Brighton. 3-0.
Not what do they think for this game?
Waiting I think or waiting I know.
Now what do they think? I know.
You see waiting I dey talk about, right? Waiting I think I be waiting I know. Oh yeah, let's hear the pride. Let's go.
Waiting I know.
Mm.
They say we go there, go shun Brighton. And if we get to 1 point, it's okay.
Okay, Joy is okay.
Whoa.
Okay, Newcastle and Ipswich will play today. Newcastle, if they win this game, it's a winnable game for them. Remember, they are in that contention to play the Champions League, and it's in their hands now. So if they win their last 5 games, bam, they will play Champions League next season. But they are playing Ipswich that will probably, if they lose this game, they will be officially relegated from the Premier League.
It's a sad one, man, but they have to go so that other guys can come. So, but Newcastle should be winning their games, no doubt.
So who wins?
Another draw.
Another draw in this game. Okay. The other game.
McKinnon is going to find a way to just shock them. It's just the way you can. You don't know what to expect from the Ipswich Town. That's just what I think.
Wolves versus Leicester will play today. Leicester has been relegated. They are going to play Division 2 Championship next season, and Jamie Vardy has announced that he's going to leave Leicester after how many years?
13 years.
13 years at Leicester City. He has won everything
They
apart
should
from
give
the
him a
Champions
statue.
League.
He deserves it.
Apart from everything, they bought him about less than £1 million, and he went on to become one of the greatest player for that club. He has won everything. Won the Premier League, won the FA Cup, won the Community Shield, won the Best Player of the Year. He won everything minus the Champions League, and he went to the World Cup with England
and scored
and almost 30 there.
Almost won it.
So let's see where they will finish. But he's going to leave Leicester. But in this particular game, Wolves has been informed. I think they are the most informed team in England. They have won their game back to back. I think they have won how many games in a row? 5. So
Yes. Yeah, they should be.
They have won 5 games. So
They won.
So they are playing Leicester. It's a winnable game for them too.
It's a winnable game, no doubt. For me, the focus has to be getting the goals early, because this is not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be a tough one. Wolves should go get the goals early, lock off the game. The last thing you want is to, because Leicester already relegated, you feel that they don't have anything to play for, but they get pride to play for. They are former champions of the Premier League, according to some people. So they need to go there, play a good game, score their goals, and win the match.
Who wins? No, so because they are not to some people, they're actually former champions to
Yes,
everybody.
everybody. Yeah.
So who wins?
Wolf, because I still look at the Leicester side that they are back from injury, and the best they could get against Brighton was a draw. And now they are going into this weekend against the Wolverhampton Wanderers side, who are defensively capable and offensively clinical. You score your goals, you defend as much as you can to get the win.
Okay, the final game for today in the Premier League is Southampton versus Fulham. Southampton are rock bottom with 11 points in the Premier League. They are back to the championship next season, but they are playing Fulham. Fulham need to win this game. Everybody is collecting points, and minus West Ham that refuse to collect
Not only
points.
West Ham no collect points now.
Recently.
Where they get the remaining 10 points from? Maybe other people they get 10. Say because I can't give them one. I gave them 1 point.
You got mercy for them.
I'm messy for them. I'm not going. If I collect the 3 points now, I'll go win league.
Where you dey for table?
Wait, if I collect the 3 points from them, I'll go win league.
Okay.
If I give them the 3 points, I don't go relegate team. So I just give them one. Collect one.
This one is just you acting up because you were certain you are getting 3 points so that you finish above United. How far?
But as it is now, they are around United because as I play draw, Man United draw.
Who have replaced you in the standings right now, man?
You know me.
Okay, that game, who wins that game? Let's get your prediction. Southampton versus Fulham.
Straight win Fulham. Like,
Straight win
I don't
Fulham.
understand how that is not a straight win.
Okay, no, sir.
This Saturday side, people are just looking at them one kind eye. Me, I'm sticking with my guys.
Okay,
Southampton.
okay, he will be. Let's hope he will be score again. He scored against Chelsea last week.
Let's hope Paul Onacho scores
Let's hope
and
he
gets the
scores
draw.
for Onacho scores for Southampton. But if he doesn't leave that club, he's going to play championship next season. Okay, for tomorrow's game is Bournemouth versus Manchester United. Manchester United have not done well in the Premier League. They are going to finish bottom half of the table. And they have -8. They are owing us 8 goals in the Premier League, so they have been owing us goals. They have been conceding goals left, right, center, and Bournemouth won them at Old Trafford in the first leg. I can remember that game. Okay, but they are playing tomorrow. It's going to be, I won't call it a huge game because both of them has nothing to do. But Bournemouth can play the Conference League if they start winning their games. If you look at where they are on the table, they need to win this game. But for Manchester United, they need to start building something. Last game, truthfully, they played well.
It was a comfortable 3-0 win last game.
Yeah, but they didn't. If you look at what the chances they missed, they were just missing a whole lot of chances. Even though they had about 2 shots on target, but they were missing a whole lot of chances. But in this game against Bournemouth, what do you think will happen in that game? Who wins?
For me, Bournemouth wins. Manchester United fans.
In the last
And
3
according
games,
to your own statement, Premier League don't count again. So focus on.
And he said that he's going to be trying out some things with young boys in the Premier League. I'm talking about Amorim. So it's
in the last 3 games against Bournemouth, they've not had 3 points. They've had just 1 point in the last 3 games against
lost
Bournemouth.
2. Yeah,
Lost 2,
Draw
played
1.
a draw, and that draw came in 2-2. I think was a hard-fought draw in that game. But look at this game now. They lost last weekend against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and the coach is telling us he's going to experiment with new young boys. He's going to do this, and the young boys he wants to experiment with, many of them are out injured. Many of them are not fit for the Premier League, though few of them are fit for the Premier League. I just feel like if you're going to experiment, there should be a proper blend. Now, you know Eriksen does not have the legs to run. You could pair him with a player like Kukunki. Get the best out of him. You could pair Kukunki with the likes of Harry Maguire in defense. I'm just saying, Harry Amas is back in the team now. Perhaps he's been given his shot, and some other young players have been given their shot. They can just come in and roll with the team and perhaps get the team to where they need to be.
Okay, who wins in that game? Bournemouth and Manchester United.
Another draw.
Another draw, no?
Straight win, Bournemouth.
Bournemouth needs all 3 points if they play consistent. I think they deserve it the way they have played this in at least Conference League. If they go and play Conference League next year, I think they deserve to play at least Continental next season. But let's see what happens. Okay, the final game for the Premier League tomorrow is Liverpool will play Tottenham. If you look at that game, Liverpool needs only 1 point to win the Premier League, and Spurs has been. I don't know what happened to Spurs this year. Last season they had potentials last season. Angie came and was showing us style, high line, counter-attacking football, press. He was always talking bold. He was always talking bold at the press conference when he lost to Chelsea. I think 6-1 to Chelsea with 1 man down. He came to the press and said, I will stick to my style. No matter what, 10 men, 11 men, 12 men, but this season, they start by men. They won't kill out this.
You see, when you get complete players full season, they know how APL be, they know how tough Premier League they be. Now, Angie came with the mentality of I have my team, I don't use my substitute bench. But you know, say at some point you need to train this your substitute bench to be able to replace your starting lineup. Whenever I keep saying it, if you don't have a like for like player on the bench, you can't have 2 the same similar players on the bench. You can't. But at least if you're bringing in somebody else, you know that there's this thing this person will bring. It's just like replacing Partey with Jorginho. You know that he doesn't have the legs to win the balls back, to get interceptions, to make forward runs like what's it called, Partey. But with the passes, the way he controls the ball and passes around, you know, okay, yes, he has that pass and he has that positional awareness as a midfielder to deliver passes forward, like Partey. But the other defensive work, like Partey, he doesn't have it. So for Angie in his team, when you don't have the Van Hecken and is it Van der Ven and Romero, Dragos enough to do the work.
But both of them have been back for the past 4 games or 5 games.
Now, them being back, them being back. Now look at the result. The result is not totally in their favor, but it's not also against them.
Let's not forget that these two guys haven't played together for a long time. So he's going to also take some adjusting to playing back together. But the bottom line for Tottenham Hotspurs is that apart from the first 11, they don't get bench. They need to go and invest in depth.
When you bench Udogie, you play Spence.
You know, it's crazy how you can bench Udogie in the
for
first
Spence.
Come on.
Okay, for Slot needs 1 point. Once anything draw in this game, they will win the Premier League. And this is the first season for Slot. He has done well. He reached the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Even though that they're knocking out of all.
So be like getting the trophy now for Crystal Palace is another bonus for any of the teams. So for me, I just think I will just fold and hedge my bet.
Okay, the second game of the FA Cup will happen tomorrow, and Nottingham Forest will play Manchester City. Man City has this is the only trophy they can win this season. If you look at that game against City, if they win this game, they go to the finals. I understand why John is looking for Crystal Palace to go to the final, because
so it's easy for them.
Aston Villa is a tough, is going to probably more tough, but Man City is Man City. They shouldn't be afraid of anybody.
Now the thing, you shouldn't be afraid, but John they fear. I didn't agree admit saying they fear.
Meanwhile, we still have 2 trophies to win this season. Thank you.
You have 1 trophy to win this season.
That one concerns
the other one.
Have 2
the other one is sub-season trophy. You they call FIFA World Cup. That one
yes,
this season again.
Is this season.
That one a yearly calendar. They say 2025.
It no concern
you.
Are you playing
John,
in that competition?
That is still this World Cup is still for this season. You can add it next season. You cannot talk about next season. Next season starts from August.
Bros.
Thank you.
Bros, this season.
Where will you put it?
Wait now.
2024, 2025 season or 2025 trophy.
You know they put on 2024, 2025. That be the worst part. If they carry the year calendar come.
Is this year part of this season?
You just be like,
excuse me.
wait now. You be like,
is
what?
This
wait
year
now,
part
John.
Of this season?
John, you just be like World Cup where they play every 4 years. You know what I say 2016 to 2018 now. It not go work.
Is this year?
So now, wait,
part of
John,
this season?
understand the statement. Now, 2025 FIFA Club World Cup.
Okay, no problem. Let's leave
is
that one.
2025 part of this season?
Bro,
yes or no?
2025 still has next season.
Is 2025 part of this season? Yes or no?
Yeah, 2026 season.
And in fact, I shouldn't even be asking you because you are not in the competition, so rest.
But
season is over.
So season the end,
Our
no correct the
season is
impression.
not yet over.
Season the end with Champions League
Okay,
final.
no problem.
Then every sub-tournament they follow.
We
You know,
agree.
concern
Nottingham
me.
Forest will play Man City tomorrow. Who
I have
wins
2
that game?
trophies
Man
to win
City
this
will
season.
play Nottingham Forest, and me, I've seen the Nottingham Forest side that will come in and shock the world because we are going for trophy. You get Nuno Espirito dos Santos is going for trophy, and he will get his trophies.
Okay, John, who wins in that game?
You shouldn't even ask me because it's a blowout for City.
Okay, Nottingham Forest. Nobody is blowing out Nottingham. Who blew out Nottingham Forest this year? I think one team.
Only one team now,
What are you
5-0.
saying,
5-0.
man?
And they come back the next week, beat
Has
person
it, the question
7-0.
has it been done? That's what you need to know.
Okay, let's see who will reach the final of that FA Cup. It will happen next month. All the games will finish in May. After next month, everybody will finish. They will enter that FIFA World Cup. They want to start arguing about. We don't want to enter that because we have a whole lot of games in that competition to talk about. So when the time comes, we'll sit down and talk about that tournament. But in this game, let's see who will reach. If City will reach the final of the FA Cup, because I think it's a very positive for City for their standard. But if they win this FA Cup, at least it will put a little bit of light on their season. But let's see what happens in the FA Cup. Okay, let's move away from England and talk the Clasico. the Clasico final of the Copa del Rey is happening today. The Copa del Rey final is happening today, 9 p.m. A whole lot of controversies yesterday. The referees had a press conference and said a whole lot of things in those press conference. One of them was crying, talking about his child getting bullied at school and all that. Real Madrid came out and said, we don't like this referee, waiting they talk, say they want another referee for that final, but the Spanish FA refused and said that those referees will still be officiating that game today. Real Madrid actually released a press conference. They talked about a whole lot of things in that press conference. But the conclusion for that press conference is that they want them to change the referee and the referees will be biased in that game. But the Spanish FA said no, and Real Madrid decided to continue because everyone was thinking, would they boycott that final or not? But if they boycott it, they will be fine, they will lose the final and all that. But Real Madrid came out and said that because of the whole fans in the whole world are expecting a whole big game, they cannot leave this because they are not playing
they should be ashamed of themselves.
So a whole lot of things that happened in that game, but let's leave those controversies. I just want to give you the background of why they were trending yesterday. But in this particular game, Barcelona has won that in this system. This season they beat them 4-0 at Santiago and beat them 5-2 at the Super Cup final. Now they play this final. What do you think will happen in today's final?
Like, it's not even an issue for debate for me. If you ask me, it's a straight win for Barcelona. But the fact that Real Madrid had to go and pull that antics with Real Madrid TV, one, execute a slander campaign against the referee, two, come out and made that shambolic statement they made about the referee and against the La Liga, and do all these things they've done. They've just set themselves in stone where they should be at the end of that 90 minutes, because it's one thing to come and make a statement, it's another thing to come and make claims to boycott. The fact that they eventually came back and said they are going to play the game, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Is it the first time Real Madrid that said they want to boycott?
They didn't need the extra antics.
Even the extra time.
Other one is just unnecessary antics. They should be fined for that.
John, even the extended Champions League, they thought they want boycott.
Make them boycott now.
Let me them play now.
The
FIFA World Cup, they say they go boycott and say too much competition. No be them first arrive for camp.
If Real Madrid eventually play this game today, that referee should file a lawsuit against them.
Why will you file a lawsuit?
If he should file a lawsuit, he should file a lawsuit against them and sue them for slandering and sue them for defamation.
Okay.
QAD. He is not the only referee in the world of football that has made mistakes. Real Madrid themselves, they are riddled with mistakes. So what are we talking about?
And me as a team, I say I don't want this referee.
Baba, go change referee now. Shebi, you say no. I don't have change the referee.
I don't get case with the referee. Now the board, RFEF, now I get case with. And I went to them and said, see, change this referee for me. And they say no. You either play with this referee or you don't play at all.
QED.
Now RFEF I get case with.
So boycott the match. Boycott the match.
Now since RFEF don't say, okay, fine, I go play the match and that referee go officiate. No problem.
Boycott the match. Now since you
the body see, it's just like, wait, John.
You don't like the referee, you wrote to the FA, they say they are not changing. Boycott the match. Now more no alpha. Boycott the match. QED. Boycott the match.
Now with everybody can have a choice to say I don't want this because everybody sees the record. You get? I want to play against referee in pouch carry Barcelona badge. You get? Is this my pouch now carry Liverpool or Man U badge? They go say I be Man U fan. Yes or no? Now, as I come outside now today, I wear Liverpool jersey. People will automatically think say I be Liverpool fan.
Yes.
Now, for the referee to have a phone that has a Barcelona pouch on it, even if he's not a Barcelona fan, he sent a wrong message. You get? Now, I have every right to say because of this one, I want to make you come on hand for my matter. You get? I can have a fight with John, and because you're always like every day I see you talking with John, and you are the case or the judge in charge of the case. Bro, if I come to your courtroom, I will say, bros, I don't want change court for me.
Baba, every referee in the world of football is a fan of a
football club.
Simple. You cannot divest that interest from the game. You cannot divest that interest. And the bottom line is, on the day of the job, the referee is going to be judged by his decisions. If that referee, I'm sure this is not the first time he's officiating a game. I'm sure he's more than a decade into the sport. Of course, there's a track record. Go back and look at that track record. That's the simple thing. If you are going to
Have you seen
pick
his
up,
track record
no,
against Real Madrid?
if you are going to pick up a highlight reel of 4 games out of 4,000 games and defame a referee
And
and
inside that
slander a referee
And inside that 4 games,
prior to the game, this is
John,
what, excuse me, this is what we call a media assault on the Copa del Rey final and a desecration of that tournament
Now,
as a whole.
John, and inside that 4 games,
If you are going to do that out of a 1 minute or 2 minute clip, out of 4 games, out of 1,000 or 10,000 games officiated, that is despicable. That's what I'm going to say on the matter.
Godwin, if you want to go to court, go to court. Inside
Please,
the 40,000,
I advise our referee to take Real Madrid to court.
Inside the
Simple and short.
40,000 games, inside the 40,000 games, inside the 40,000 games, you have mistake or clips of 5 games or 4 games, which is less than 10%. Now, inside that 10%, 50% of that 10% is against me.
You said less than 10% is actually less than 1%.
Oh wait, John.
Or 0.01%.
John, I'm making an instance here. Even if it is 1% or 0.1%, and half of that 1% or half of that 0.1% is against my team, I have every right to call you out. I have every right to call you out. It's just as simple as it is.
You do not have any right
I am
to call
calling
that
you
guy
out. I am calling you out.
You should write to the officiating firm.
Who tells you
write to the officiating firm?
Because for the officiating them to say we are sticking with this referee, it means you have written to them.
I wrote to them too. Yes, yesterday.
You get?
Let's. I don't want to enter this controversy. It's a whole lot of controversy, but let's talk about the game in itself because we don't want to go to.
They should boycott now.
They will not boycott. Okay. Let's talk about this game. Their game is going to be interesting. Is two big guys playing in that game. I think that referee has to be careful in his decisions in that game because everyone has to start looking at what happens in that game. But Barcelona and Real Madrid, when they play, it's always that's even though that this season Barcelona have the upper hand. They have scored how many goals? 9 goals against Real Madrid this season, and Real Madrid have only scored 2 against them. So, but in this final, if you are looking at it based on football, not controversy, who do you think will win that game?
Based on football, current form, I say Barcelona will win. But Clásicos or perhaps derby matches are always tricky.
Yes.
You get? I was telling the other day about the derby match between AC Milan and Inter Milan. We know how in form Inter Milan is, but come on, they lost against AC Milan and they lost woefully. That's a derby match. Man United has not been up there this season, but they met Man City this season and they took 4 points. So derby matches and Clásicos are very difficult to predict because you don't know which team is going to be turning up.
Okay.
And especially for Real Madrid, they've lost 2 already this season. They lost the first leg of the.
They don't want to lose another one.
They would not that they don't want to. They would not want to lose another one. And it's just why it works for football.
Okay, John, I know you Barcelona might win. If you look at the way they are playing, they are a team in form, but as also just said, Clasico can be dicey. But for example, that first leg against at Santiago, nobody expected Barcelona to win that with that margin. Then that final that was just crazy. They even scored first, and Barca came back to score 4. Then it was 4-2, then 5-2. But in this particular game, a repeat of that kind of result.
I'll just ask you one question: who is going to stop that attack from scoring? Who in that defense is going to stop Barcelona attack from scoring? Nobody. It's a blowout for Barcelona.
It's a blowout. So, okay. For John, Barcelona will win. For you, who wins?
Felamendi is back from injury. So with this said, there is no Alaba in left back.
Okay.
You get? Now, Felamendi can... I'll still stick with Fran Garcia. But since Felamendi is back to full training and is back to the setup, then fine, let him start.
So who wins the finals?
I'm sticking with Madrid.
Okay, both of you.
Ala Madrid.
But let's see. Okay, on our YouTube channel, remember guys, we are live on YouTube and both FM Sports. It's going to be a Clasico final. And Lillian, welcome to the show. We say Man U to win, Chelsea to draw. Okay, Lillian, good prediction. Okay, Icon Fashion, what they say, John, there is nothing a referee can do. Madrid have the right to complain if they smell a rat.
You can complain, but don't slander somebody's person.
Same with Barcelona. Even the complaint is an eye-opener and all eyes will be on that referee during the
match. Which was the intent from the beginning, from the first place.
So, John, she continues. So, John, if you are a coach and say, I don't want you to officiate my game, then you will take me to court. Funny. Okay. Nobody's taking anybody to court. Yeah. So Chigo's here. Alexander is saying, John, why do you like okay, for Does Madrid don't have any right to request for another referee? John, please answer. Anything you answer us is the answer you tell yourself. Okay, Chigozie, let's see what happens in that particular game. It's going to be an El Clasico finals. It's going to be interesting. Everybody eyes are going to be, especially on that referee, after all these controversies that happened yesterday. Big controversy actually. Okay, I'll give you the fixtures of the Serie A because Serie A is getting hot and hot and hot in this final 5 games in the Serie A. Against Napoli and Inter Milan are looking to win the Serie A. Okay, the fixtures of Serie A is Como will play Genoa. All the games are happening tomorrow. Okay, all the games are happening tomorrow. Okay, Como will play Genoa. Venezia will play AC Milan. For instance, will play Empoli. Inter Milan will play Roma. That's going to be a tough one for Inter Milan if they can crack that 3 points against Roma. Juventus will play Monza. Atlanta will play Lecce. Napoli will play Torino. Udinese will play Bologna on Monday, and Verona versus Cagliari, Lazio versus Parma, all happening on Monday. So let's see who wins. Let's see who wins that Serie A. Okay, let's open the phone line. I know everybody wants to talk about that Clasico game and that incident that happened yesterday. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us your own contribution, especially that Clasico finals. Okay. Yeah, good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Bonaventure from Spain.
Okay, Bonaventure, what is your contribution?
Talking about the came back is they bought my phone. I was seeing Real Madrid by cutting the game. And after seeing that, I just kept my phone. I know that they were playing mind game. I went to the rules and saw the rules that still win someone by cutting. I just kept my phone. Later I said that they said I want to return because of the fan. I was laughing. Just want my boys, Barcelona boys, to calm down. Since Flip said something, they should be calm because this is a mind game. They're trying to put the pressure to the referee so that he will favor them. This is not the first time they are doing it. They did it before the match against Atletico. That Madrid they beat that. The Rose money complain about. Even the Rose money put out some money. They just did that the same thing. They are trying to pressure to give it to the other using their TV to be doing those stuff because they know the amount of they have because they have a capital of Spain. So I want to watch a good match. Just that I pray that the referee should become and make the right decision so that we see a good match.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's hope we see a good one. That game's happen 9 p.m. sharp. The stadium will be shouting. It's going to be interesting. Okay, let's take more calls.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is Emmanuel from Devon.
Okay, Emmanuel, what is your contribution?
Chelsea will win by 2 goals to nothing.
Okay.
West Ham to beat Brighton 2-1.
Okay.
Please, I want to ask you something.
All right.
Is Santos a striker?
Yes.
A striker, it depends on attacking midfielder and striker. It depends on how they want to put him, but he basically plays as an attacking midfielder.
Okay, I want Chelsea to bring him back next summer.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Good prediction. Let's see. It's supporting West Ham. Let's see if it's going to work out for you. Okay. 0706 048 5853. What is your prediction for that Clasico finals today? Yeah. Hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes. Good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Alex calling. I greet you guys in this.
Okay. All right.
Please, John, you will calm down. I don't understand you because you dislike Real Madrid. That's why you are seeing everything you are seeing.
Your contribution, sharp.
Let me say this. This has not been the first time that referee has been favoring Barcelona. Even in a Clasico, even outside La Liga, it has been there. We have been seeing it. It has been so glaring. And I think I can even remember vividly when Ronaldo has been complaining anytime that they have the Clasico. It's just only few times maybe probably out of their own individual brilliance that Madrid may probably win their Clasico. But most times, officiating in La Liga has been poor. It's just that it we have not been, the attention has not been there. The attention has been more on England. You understand? Because John,
How many La Liga titles have you won with officiating? How many La Liga titles have you won with officiating?
I will not. Okay, the squad don't have any right to call out this referee.
Mm.
Don't they have any right to call out this referee? We have seen so many times on so many occasions that the better have been coming out to call out that one particular referee. Just said, one day I've been complaining about the fellow. It's the thing that we say, the shooting has been there.
Okay.
So I don't see anything wrong that Fiorentina parent said. You understand? Most times in a Clasico, we have seen the officiating in the football Barcelona.
Okay.
As if we haven't seen them officiate in the favor of Real Madrid. Keep it what it is, man. Keep it what it is. Please boycott the match. Boycott the match. Thank you. If you are paid, boycott the match. Let's know you are bigger than La Liga and Copa del Rey. Boycott the match.
Okay. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, guys.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Yeah, we are not boycotting any match.
Okay.
Okay, Pedro, what is the contribution?
Good morning, Jose.
Good morning, Pedro.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, bro.
My own is that Madrid should just play that match with their man. They should just play everything that they can play so that they can win that match. They should forget about the referee officiating. If they score
Nobody will cancel it.
If they score with goal that is not outside, the referee will not go and play it outside. And if he does that, they will ban him too. They should just score goals and they play defend well. My problem is they are considering good. If they are good in defense, I don't think the strikers will not score goals for them. And I'm predicting that match. It's clean victory for Madrid, 1-0 or 2-1.
Okay.
Madrid.
All right. Thank you very much. Good prediction, good analysis from Pedro. Okay, let's see what happens in that Clasico. Good game all round. Okay, call us and tell us what you think about that particular encounter. It's going to be interesting today. Who wins again between Barcelona and Real Madrid? Yeah, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. 0706 048 5853. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Please, Mr. John,
Hello, good morning.
you've erred. Mr. John have erred, and you have to apologize to a lot of Madridistas all over the world. At least the people that are hearing of your voice.
Name and location, please.
You are using your boundaries in the four walls of the studios. Make sure you
Over. Name and
everything that you're saying before saying, especially against the
hello. Name and location, please.
That I need your apologies before the story.
Name and location.
Name and location, please.
That's what you're head.
Is that the voice of Real Madrid? Let me know.
It sounds like the chairman, Real Madrid fan base.
The guy don't even tell us his name. But name and location, please. Yeah. Good morning. Okay.
Good morning, Bishop.
John, calm down now. Calm down.
Pastor emotional.
Okay, sorry, it's Bishop.
Okay.
Sometimes Madrid has been a crying baby.
Thank you.
And when a crying baby cries much, you don't even know when he's or he's right to cry. You get it? Let's be fair. What happened to our let me take you guys back. The Swiss can invest again. And we expect them to be upright and fair, which we know they are not. But sometimes you try to be professional as you can. I'll take you back to our web. Why did people say that our web is a Man U fan? John, do you know?
You keep giving them money decisions, yes.
It's not only that, that's not the main reason. They called a Man U jersey with him.
Okay.
For the reason that is where they can lay their hand on. And it's truth. He caught on a Man U jersey. You get it? Then that is not the only time a team is saying that they need the referee. Chelsea has done it. I think Wolves, either Wolves or Leicester, there's a team that they have in fact, everybody wrote that they don't need this referee again, not only to appreciate in them, but to participate in the game. It's reasons. Yeah, sometimes you have the genuine reasons where you don't need a referee.
Mm-hmm.
You get. But Madrid has been crying a lot. They cry, and playing stardom. Arsenal still cook them. You get. So all these things they have been doing it. Even now they have a genuine case. People think that it's a normal cry. They can't be getting my Barcelona item or a badge from you and all that. How can you defend it? You get. The person that is showing that a Barcelona fan, just like Nonso said, the coach was there wearing a Man U jersey. You know what this guy is a Man U
In
fan.
a press conference, for that matter.
You get. So however you are trying to defend yourself, it's going to be difficult. That's why there are some things that you get professional. Not like we are not a club supporter. We know just like we say, they support clubs. But can you be as professional as you can? Madrid is justified for saying that this man is a Barcelona fan because that is not the first time it's happening. And what well is a case study. Okay.
Yes, okay.
And many of referees.
So who wins in this
Madrid
game?
have cried enough. So I think they should step up. This is a Clasico and like babies. It's not be played on a form. It's played with the ego. Okay. So if they really want to win this game, they need to step up. Because they've been playing like rubbish football these days. Like last year, 4 or 5 matches. Jesus. They've been playing rubbishly. They don't play as a team. There's no cohesion. There's no energy. There's no fight.
Okay.
Please, if they didn't play well today, Barcelona is going to cook them.
Thank you.
They will not concede, and their back have been conceding. I agree with the last caller. They have been conceding goals like mad. Madrid is in a mess.
Okay.
And look at who is going to play the back line. I saw the people they are saying they're going to play. I was like, it's only Rudiger and Mendy. And this Mendy said, I don't trust him that much. You need to use Asensio and Masquerade and Cook.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, Barcelona, Madrid will better surprise us tomorrow.
Today, actually.
Today, by 9 o'clock today.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let's move on to the MPFL. MPFL this weekend, MPFL that happened yesterday's game. Canopy has won against Rivers 2-0. Other games happening tomorrow. No game today. National United will play Heartland of Owerri. Aqua United versus Ikorodu City. Kwara United versus Dobby Stars. Sunshine Stars versus Katsina United. Abia Warriors versus Shooting Stars. Plateau will play Bendel Insurance. Bayelsa United will play Economy Warriors. Rainbow Stars, the potential league champions, will play Niger Tornadoes. The big one, Rangers International, will play Enyimba at the Cathedral. Okay, if you look at that game, it's just for pride now. Not necessarily that both of them are playing for anything. They are playing for pride. Enugu Rangers versus Enyimba. Last year's own, it's one of the biggest games I've seen in my whole life. This other was packed to the brim, like everybody was shouting when we got that penalty. Even though they didn't allow us to take that penalty, the shout was heavy. It shook the whole town. But this game, I think we are expecting the same kind of energy in today. It's tomorrow's game, by 4 p.m.
We need a higher level of energy. We need to see a better performance than we saw at the Cathedral when last we played Heartland. We need to see better performance, higher level of energy. Those players, in fact, they should be ready to run for 95 minutes ahead in that encounter. They should be ready to run.
They are playing for pride now, not necessarily for any other thing.
They are still playing. See, I dislike that statement of say you are playing for pride. If you are going to call yourself a footballer, if you cannot play for, you are already playing for pride, which is you are earning your paycheck. So come and play for pride. That one is fundamental. If you want to play for Rangers, you should play for the badge. You should play to take the team to the highest it can go.
So who wins in this game?
Play for pride or not play for pride, Rangers is as it stands now. Enyimba, they flew them for back. Same point. Now good difference separates the two of them. So with this now, if you can clear the points between you and them, just give them that gap. I'll be okay with it.
Okay, Enugu Rangers will play tomorrow at the Cathedral 4 p.m. Let's help everybody around Enugu. Let's come and support Rangers, our own darling Rangers, to get all 3 points against Enyimba. It's always going to be that fixture is one of the biggest fixtures in the Nigerian MPFL, and tomorrow is going to happen at the Cathedral 4 p.m. Okay, this is how I'm going to end today's show. Remember, we are live every day on YouTube at Volt FM Sport. You can go and truly join us there, and please subscribe to our channel when you go there. And finally, Chigozie is asking if John is a Barca or Man City fan. Okay, anyone. But remember, guys, to join us on our YouTube channel. Join us on YouTube channel every day, Monday to Saturday at Volt FM Sports. Tomorrow on Monday, not tomorrow, on Monday, we'll come back and discuss all these games that we have talked about today. By then, all of them have been completed, especially that Clasico. We'll see who has won that Clasico final today. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful weekend. My name is Godwin. See you on Monday.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM.
You know,
Where
with our
music
Brazilian
meets the
friend.
voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Roberto, I see you.
We see you.
See, no doubt, no debate. Ronaldo Gucho is the best player in the world. Leave Messi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo,
You
my idol.
Okay, your idol.
Ronaldo's Zlatan.
Messi is the best player in the world.
Leave that thing. Who Messi here?
Don't mention.
Ronaldo's Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Who is Zlatan?
The lion himself. My idol.
Who is Zlatan?
My idol.
Daalụ ndị be anyị ekele m unu Igbo ndị ọma njem ọnụ